There is one thing you should never do. Most of you do it without being aware of it. That's why I'm alerting you. Never fight God when He is cleansing your life. Now, God doesn't need to stand up from His throne. He doesn't have to literally move His hand. The moment you walk by faith, the power of the Holy Spirit inside of you does the work automatically. It's the same as you having a lamp with you. Wherever you carry the lamp, it illuminates the environment. You don't illuminate the environment, just carry the light with you. So you having the light with you illuminates the area automatically. Unless you cover the lamp with a cloth, then you hinder the brightness from illuminating the room. The lamp is still burning, it's still emitting light, but you are hindering the illumination of your environment when you cover the lamp with a cloth. Okay? That is what a lot of you are doing, believers. You are resisting the cleansing power of the Holy Spirit. Because the cleansing power of the Holy Spirit is what will keep you safe. It is what will keep you healthy, youthful, fertile, and prosperous on the earth. But the most important part is it keeps you safe. But many of us, believers, we fight the cleansing impact that comes from the Holy Spirit. Why? Because we are conditioned to rely on our own understanding. We are conditioned to take responsibility for our lives, which sounds very good and which is practical in one sense. But when you look at the bigger picture, we are told to be our own gods. We are told to solve all the issues that we encounter. The whole idea of saying that's my problem, or no, that's your problem, that's clinging onto negativity. Whether you disown the negativity or you embrace it, it's both clinging onto it. So whenever there's a situation going on, and everyone in the community is obliged to respond appropriately, what happens often? People tend to flee, saying, no, that's your problem. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to take it. That's clinging. It seems as if you're doing the right thing by avoiding something, but you really cling onto it because now you are in avoidance. And what is that? Relying on your own understanding. Stop clinging onto negativity. Whether it's negativity that occurs there or negativity that affects you here, stop clinging onto it. Stop saying it's my problem and say, no, that's your problem. Stop doing that pushing away and pulling. Because whether you push away negativity or you pull negativity, it's both clinging. And that is what we tend to do because that's how we were conditioned by the world. That's how the fallen mind operates, the same mind we ought to be renewed from. It goes like this. When you walk by faith, the cleansing effect, or rather the cleansing impact of the Holy Spirit will cleanse you from all danger. That's the most important thing, to cleanse you from all danger. It's not there to cleanse you from uncomfortable circumstances, because you will face uncomfortable things in this lifetime. It's about cleansing you from danger. Mainly dangerous people or people that enable danger. Those are the two main things the cleansing impact of the Holy Spirit will free you from. When you walk by faith, when you operate in prayers, decrees, and declarations in line with Christ, it will dissolve danger around you. But way too often, believers fight the cleansing impact or cleansing effect that comes from the Holy Spirit. Because we think we need to solve things. We think we need to deal with things. Because that's what the world taught you. If you don't fix your problems, that's clinging. If you don't cling onto darkness and resolve the darkness, you are a loser, you're pathetic, we don't want to hear you. But here's the thing. You're never supposed to cling onto darkness to begin with. You shouldn't cling onto it, because once you cling onto it, you're trapped by it. And when you're trapped by it, you can't dissolve it. So the whole thing of owning darkness. In order to solve it, it's BS, but that's what the world's believe. That's what the world's believing in, and that's what they teach you. That's what they promote. They call it taking responsibility. How can you be responsible if you embrace dysfunction that disables you from responding accordingly? Responsibility implies you're able to respond in a practical and beneficial manner. That's what taking responsibility means. But how can you take action in an appropriate and constructive way if you are disabled from doing that same thing? You cannot be responsible nor take responsibility if you are disabled from acting and responding in an appropriate and constructive manner. And clinging onto darkness disables you. But that's what we'll teach you to do. Cling onto darkness. Why am I telling you this? Because believers also do this. There are believers operating in a self-defeating mindset. And this self-defeating mindset is what the world promotes. And it appears right, but it's not. And there are even churches teaching this. That's why in the book of Proverbs it says, "There is a way that seems right unto a man, but the ends thereof are the ways of death." And believers have many ways in our way of thinking, in our way of acting and behaving that seems right on the short term, but in the long term we see its destruction. So do not fight the cleansing impact that comes from the Holy Spirit, because it's meant to keep you safe. So next time you encounter financial difficulty and you're praying, decreeing, and the difficulty just doesn't disappear, then realize that you're not a failure. You're not failing. It's the Holy Spirit's impact that freed you from something. It could be that there were scammers coming after you. They were ready to jump on you. And the fire that comes from the Holy Spirit penetrated through your energy field, and it caused the demonic operation to fail. And you go into that financial difficulty is a consequence of the shock that came from the Holy Spirit that caused the demonic operation to fail. And you experienced the shock in your circumstances. That's why you went through this financial difficulty. So now you perceive that financial difficulty as a failure on your part. And it may appear like that, and you may feel like that if you only look at the small picture. But if you would look at the bigger picture, you would realize there's more going on. And what was going on is that you have been spared and freed from harm. You experienced the shock that went along with the destruction of the evil. So you experienced the shock. But now, because you don't look at the bigger picture, because you lack the proper information about what's going on, you're now stuck with the limited knowledge. And if you base your life on that limited knowledge, you'll end up depressed, you'll end up trapped. That's why we are told not to rely on our own understanding. So, when you have people that suddenly vanish from you, even though you didn't do them any wrong, it is the cleansing impact from the Holy Spirit that chases them away. On the short term, you may think, what's going on? Why are those people turning on me? What's up here? That's the limited knowledge you have. And if you hold on to that limited knowledge, demons will come along through other people telling you those people are leaving you because of this or that. It can be that you indeed may have areas in your life that needs improvement. So then the demons are going to convince you that people left you because you lack in that and that area. They will say you talk too much, or you don't communicate well, or you're not empathic enough. They'll point out to the things that need improvement to let you think it's because you lack in those areas that people leave you. Even though it has those areas that need improvement have nothing to do with those people leaving you. They're leaving you because the Holy Spirit doesn't want them around. You get it? So it's easy for you to be scammed when you rely on your own understanding. And when you rely on your own understanding, you end up operating against your long-term best interest. So when the cleansing impact from the Holy Spirit chases people away from you, you think that you did something wrong. You think you need to fix something. So even if you don't chase off those people that left you, you may feel angry with yourself, thinking, why does this keep happening to me? What am I doing wrong? Even though you didn't do anything wrong to begin with. So learn to look at the bigger picture. Stop fighting God when He is cleansing your life. Some of you will have to go through some difficulties. Why? Because when you go through those difficulties, you will lose dangerous people, people that enable danger. You will lose negative connections. You will lose sickness. You will lose negative thinking patterns. There's a lot for you to lose. But all those losses are gain to you. But because you don't see the bigger picture, you think that that difficulty is something you need to avoid. Now, difficulty in itself is something to avoid. Okay, that's natural. But during this lifetime, you will have to go through some difficulties, because those difficulties are not the result of you failing. They are the result of you being cleansed and kept safe. So don't fight God when He is cleansing your life. I agree with him.